Hey everybody, this is the Peaceful Warrior here to give you my latest review / rant of Naruto Chapter 600. Coming into this week's chapter, there were two groups of fans. The first believed that Toby was Obito. The second believed that Toby was pretty much anyone except Obito, but primarily some form of Madara, some form of Zetsu, possibly an ancestor of the Senju or Uzumaki or Izuna. But in last week's chapter, entitled Obito Uchiha, we see flashbacks of Obito, and it caps off with Toby's face being Obito. So you had a lot of people who were saying that Toby was Obito, taking victory laps, and you had a lot of people who were saying that Toby wasn't Obito, remaining skeptical because the chapter had no dialogue, and the characters had not confirmed within the story itself that Toby was indeed Obito. I myself, and people who shared my perspective were under the belief that perhaps Toby was simply using Obito's body, just like Orochimaru has used the bodies of others in the past. So, with that being said, this week was supposed to be an end to that discussion, an end to the doubts, an end to the speculation, and boy did it do just that. This chapter opens up with Guy. Everybody's looking at Obito, and Guy's like, "Isn't this cat supposed to be dead?" And Kakashi is like, he looks at Obito, and Obito activates his Mangekyo Sharingan, and Kakashi's like, "It's no doubt about it. This cat is Obito." And Obito's like, "You can call me that name if you want, but it really means nothing to me." And just when we're getting off to a really good pace, Kishimoto can't have any of that now, can he? He throws in these meaningless, unimpactful flashbacks of things we already know, how Obito died. And just as we come out, that takes up the bulk of the chapter. So we have a good beginning that's new. We have a huge fat middle, which is nothing new at all. And now we get to the end of the chapter. When they come out of the flashbacks, Naruto's like, "Who is this cat?" And Guy's like, "He's an Uchiha. He's a Leaf Shinobi who used to be our classmate, but we thought this cat died in the last Ninja War." And Kakashi is like, "If you were alive, why didn't you? How could you?" And Obito's like, "Well, if you want to know, I did this because you let Ren die." Anyway, I'll get to that later. Regardless, Guy is stunned. Kakashi is stunned. And Kakashi gets shaken once again. And so, just as they're being shaken, Naruto, because he doesn't have a bond with Ren, is like, "Hey, listen, we don't got time to be distressed, depressed, and distracted. This guy needs to be stopped. We gotta do it. So let's do our thing." And Guy's like, "Yeah, that's what's up. Kakashi, man, come on, man, we gotta shake it off, cuz we gotta do this thing." So, as they're trying to get, their feet settled, if you will, Obito launches this massive fire style attack, and Naruto nullifies it by using Kurama's tails in Bijou mode to block the attack. And as the smoke is clearing from that, somebody springs onto the battlefield, and as the smoke is clearing away, we see that they have an Uchiha crest on their back. And what do you know? It's Edo-Tensei Madara, who is fighting the 5 Kage. Which is like, if he's here, what happened to the 5 Kage? Like, if he's there, like, if that's not a clone, and that's really him, that means that the 5 Kage failed. That means that somebody is most likely dead. They have to be dead if he's now there on the battlefield and not fighting them. But anyway, with that being said, when Madara shows up, he's like, "So I see you're having fun over here, Obito." So, starting there, it's apparent that Madara knows Obito, Obito knows Madara. They have a relationship, they're in league together, they have a common goal, they share a plan. And it's also apparent that through that relationship, that's how Obito was able to acquire the skill, the prowess, and the intelligence necessary to do the things he did as Toby, such as go in and out of the village's top secret barriers, defeat Anbu under the direct command of the third Hokage, know that the Jinchuriki seal will be its weakest at childbirth, summon and tame the Nine Tails, and even do all of this while going head to head with the fourth Hokage. And by the way, having better space-time ninjutsu than the second and fourth combined. Whatever. But that, to me, that plot twist is like magic, because it's like throwing magic into the Naruto universe, because it literally makes things that are virtually impossible possible. Because if you think about it, it's a pure stroke of luck that arguably the most powerful ninja in the world, even though he suffered massive damage after his fight with the first Hokage, happens to find Obito beneath all these rocks, goes to the trouble of rescuing him, and then decides to first of all trust him. And from trusting him, now this is Madara Uchiha. He hates and despises the entire ninja world, views everyone as traitors, but he's going to trust a complete stranger. Right. Okay. And he's going to entrust him with everything he knows and all his power. Right. So how convenient for Obito to become Toby, so he can do all things he did as Toby. Like, that's lazy. That's cheap. And as a faithful viewer and a true fan of Naruto, it's even disrespectful. Because that's literally a plot twist that he could have come up with an hour before the deadline. It's as if he could have come up with that as though he was just now writing a paper an hour before it was due. Like, that's how lazy that crap is. So I'm not pleased about that at all. And second of all, he does all this because Rin died. Let me get something straight. Rin, he's not in a relationship with Rin. They didn't marry. They have no kids. They never did any romantic things together, and she never confessed romantic feelings for him. Yet you do all this as if she was all these things to you? You were purely friends at the time of your death. Yet you're doing all this for some chick? And let's get this straight. You're a little boy and she's a little girl, even though you all are at war, period. So, I mean, even these feelings for her, it's like, dude, you were in your youth. Get over it. I mean, you could have easily found you another woman. I mean, so this is another reason why Kishimoto has systematically, within the last 2 chapters alone, caused the downfall of what was, in my opinion, the greatest character in the Naruto universe. The arch villain. The most respected person across the ninja world, and definitely the most respected character across the Naruto fan base, is single-handedly taken apart in the last 2 chapters. And I mean, no wonder the guy wore a mask, because nobody would have supported him. Nobody would have listened to him. Nobody would have taken him seriously had he known he was doing all this for some chick. And see, here's my problem with that. I could understand to a point if he was just some random Akatsuki member, like Hidan or Kakazu or somebody like that, doing that because somebody close to them died or what have you, and yada yada yada. But for the main antagonist, for the arch enemy of the entire shinobi world, for his motivating factor for doing all this evil and for being this heartless and cruel, to be, a person who wasn't even my wife, who wasn't even my girlfriend, who I never was in a romantic relationship with, I'm just pissed off because she died, and so now I'm just going to screw the world over. What? What? I mean, let's get something straight about Rin. Rin is not important at all. Like, literally. She is not important in the Naruto universe, period. She was barely noticeable in Kakashi Gaiden. The main characters in Kakashi Gaiden did not include Rin. It was Kakashi, Obito, and Minato. Period. Period. Hands down. Period. Hell, the White Fang had more of a role than Ren did in Kakashi Gaiden. So you mean to tell me that he's doing all this over somebody who we don't even know as fans? Who we don't even have a bond with? Are you serious? All of this over somebody who was a speck in the appearance that she made. Right. Right. Oh man, I just Kishimoto, how could you do this, man? How could you do this? But anyway, with that being said, it just really it boggles the mind how this could really have taken place under Kishimoto's watch. But nonetheless, though, those are my feelings about the chapter overall. I feel like Kishimoto has wasted a tremendous opportunity with Toby, his identity, and how he came to be Toby. This is not a path that the arch villain can take, period, bar none, the end. But yet, this is what Toby has been reduced to. So, tell me what you think. I'm anxious to hear your thoughts, and hopefully they're as strong as mine.